What's going on, everybody? I'm Minal from Dorje, and we're here at the O2 in Liverpool. It's the third show of our tour, and it has been absolutely awesome so far. We started up in Guildford, we played Bristol last night, which was just sick. So we're looking forward to tonight. Tonight's like the biggest stage we've played. As you can see, it's like full-on O2 setup, and so I just wanted to quickly run through the rig that I'm using on this tour. Basically, drums-wise, I'm using my DW Collector's series. I do have more shells than this, but to be honest, bringing the amount of gear that we brought out live, I've cut this down. So this is an 8-inch DW. Here's a 12, and here's a 16. The finish is black oyster glass, and this is basically this is a whole custom build. It's absolutely gorgeous. It sounds immense. On the toms, the heads I'm using are the new Evans EC2, and basically they're a prototype. So the EC2 has been a range that's been around for a long time, but they brought this new thing in called Level 360, which is a technology that's going to get rolled out across all the Evans heads, completely across the board. But what they've done is they've raised the collar on the head, so it sits more evenly on the bearing edge. Because a lot of the competitor brands, when you put them on and they spin, you can see they're wonky and uneven. And Beer is humping my Pearl Icon rack, which I'm using with me on tour, which I'll come on to in a minute. Basically, the Level 360 is a really, really cool thing, and they've given me some prototypes to take out. So the snare heads and the tom heads are all Evans 360. The snare I'm using tonight, I'm actually using, at the moment, it's Randy from the Drills. It's his snare, which is this beautiful Yamaha. But for the tour, what I'm actually using is my Mapex Black Panther, which is a hand-hammered brass snare, which I'm not actually... We're just sound checking with Randy's snare for now. So cymbals-wise, this is my full beauty setup. I'll start with the hats, because there's a pretty interesting, weird thing going on with this. Basically, I have a sort of like a signature sound with my hi-hats, which is really chunky, really loud, but also I get a real crispness out of the hat when I'm playing more detailed stuff as well. And a lot of people wonder how I get that sound. And my trick is 2 bottom hats instead of a top and a bottom hat. This is a really, really old 1970s Sabian hi-hat. I'm not even sure exactly what model it is. I think it's a HH Fusion, or one of the Fusion hats. But this was given to me by my uncle years and years and years ago. This is from the 70s. And that's the bottom hat out of the pair, and that goes on the top for me. And then I matched that with an Istanbul AGOP. Again, this is a bottom hi-hat, but this is on the bottom, as it should be. So that's the Istanbul AGOP. So that's how I get my particular hi-hat sound, is 2 bottom hats instead of one top and a bottom. And you also notice what's weird about my hi-hat setup is how low I have the hi-hat pole. That's just cut off and rounded off, because I play open-handed, so I need to get to my ride up there. So I've actually cut down the pole so I don't have to move over it. I can just complete ability across the kit that way, which unfortunately knackers a lot of right-handed drummers when they come to share the kit. So I've taken a habit of bringing around a spare hi-hat pole as well with me for the righty guys to actually share the kit. So then cymbals-wise, the ride, absolutely love this thing. I bought this years ago. It's the same ride that Jose Pasillas from Incubus uses. It's a hand-hammered HH Raw. It's the Raw Bell Dry Ride, 22-inch. Basically, I have a Raw Bell, and it's riding dry, people. And this is just awesome. So I'll show you how some of the stuff sounds, but hi-hat wise, this wasn't about that sound. It's got the crispness there. Love it. And the ride, the HH Raw Dry 20 is... I like it because it's pronounced here. Washes well here on the edge, and the bell's still really defined. So like in White Dove, our new tune, the chorus is all just, and you can hear it on recordings people are making even from the crowd. It's really, really cutting through. This little beast is a little Sabian AA Mini China. It's just aggressive and punchy, so I use that at the end of 2 Week, for example. When it goes out the breakdown at the ends, I'm just riding on that, and it just cuts through the mix really nicely. If you want that kind of thing, smaller China cymbal is going to give you more punch, whereas something like this, which is brand new, I'll show you this. So I cracked my my other old China, and I had to buy a new one for tour. But this is, Sabian HHX is a staple range for me. I just think it's absolutely incredible. I love Sabian cymbals. they're warm, they're consistent. I just get along with them really, really well. So I picked one of these up from Anderton's, and this is an 18-inch Chinese HHX, because I broke this, which was my other China, which I've now converted into a trash stack. So I'll show you this. This was the stag that I got from Anderton's on the last DD tour, and it went a while ago. This was a 16-inch China, and then this was my old HHX 18-inch Extreme Crash. As you can see, that's cracked there. This one's split down there, if you can see that. So what I'm doing now is putting it on the wrong way around and turning that into a trash stack, which is where you stack one or two or more cymbals on top of each other, and you get a sound like this. So it's really good for playing little grooves on. The actual 18-inch Chinese here, you can hear this, the HHX, is a lot more sort of like much warmer classic sounds. And then my two crashes, I picked them quite carefully so they actually complement each other. And this is an actual piece, a 20-inch explosion crash, Sabian HHX. It's really big, but I use that for like riding on stuff with grooves. Because it really washes well. This is a smaller one. This is a little 17-inch HHX explosion crash. So they are, the same model, but I've picked them so that this is where I'm riding on, and this is more for punches. And then the last two bits of the signature sound.
Just looks so nice.
Which one?
Just that shot. It's
sick. So the last bit of my signature sound is these two chime bells here. I've got a little Zildjian Evadis, which is more of a warm note. It's more of a note. And this is a little stag bell. And this is the other part of my signature sound, the chappers. Great tone, It's a really nice alloy they use in the chappers. It's pretty badass. So that's my cymbal setup. I'm using Randy's pedals tonight. Basically, we're just sound checking part of his kit on here. So this is his snare and these pedals on here. But the other part of my actual touring rig, obviously, is the hardware. My Pearl Icon rack. Pretty easy if you come around the front and have a look at this. But so this is the Pearl Icon rack. Absolutely killer piece of gear. I swear by using the rack live. Basically I use a front and a side section. It just lets you set up, everything's memory locked, you know what the deal is with everything sits in place, so you haven't got to flap about with different stands and that kind of thing. And also visually it gives you more space and not loads and loads of cymbal sounds. As you can see, I actually label them up with tape so that my drum tech knows exactly where stuff goes, which arms go with which. So that all goes in there, which helps a lot. And what else have we got going on here? Yeah, basically Pearl arms all the way. All these are all the Pearl standard arms. What's nice about them is this feature, is that when you have to tear down the kit quickly, that just pops straight off. You don't have to actually unscrew it. It's just a clip with two ears to clip on there. And there we go. And I believe, we've got the custom drum skin on here as well. Very kindly provided by these wonderful people at Evans. They printed us some custom skin. And I'll show you my electronics that I'm running behind the kit as well. So in terms of electronics, I'm using a wedge down here. Obviously that's like gig standard, they're going to provide that. So I use that to get kick and vocal. But on the other side of me, over here, is my little mixing desk. So I take this as an Elisis multi-mix, which you see me talk about in some of my videos at home. And basically all I do is I take a line out of Beer's amp, which comes in here, I take a line out from Dave's amp, and I take a line out from my Roland SPDS. And basically I mix my own monitor sound here. And I have a headphone control here, and that just goes straight into there with these, which are my Ultimate Ears UE7s. They're all moulded, they go straight in, and they block out a lot of the ambient sound. So I have a really clear signal from Dave, so I stay tight with the bass, and I have a clear signal from Beer. And it's just a system that over the years I've come up with to get around, unpredictable monitoring at a gig, because there's nothing worse than not being able to hear what you're doing. So this is my setup on the mixer. And the last bit is my Roland SPDS. This is a sampling unit. Unfortunately, it's not hooked up to the PA right now, so you can't hear it. But as you can see on here, I've created a patch called Dorje, and what I have going on here, this is basically you can load on your own samples onto this, the SPDS. There is a new model called the SPDS X, which has upgraded a lot of features. But for what I use, this is perfect. And basically, I just load sounds that I know that we're going to use live. So pad 1 will basically create our flash intro that we come on stage to. At the beginning of the set, when I give you the thumbs up, I'm going to start this sample. That's a 1 minute flash intro, so I'll come on first, give you the thumbs up, music off, and I'll start the sample. Pad 2 is the little scratch sound at the beginning of Aeromancy, just before it kicks into the main tune. There's a little, like, warped, weird sound. I have that on here, and then just as I kick into the tune, I hit pad 3 with a crash, and that's a big dirty sub drop that kicks in there. I've also got a really big sub drop as well.
Thanks for that.
And I've got a couple more sounds. I have an explosion here, which is the actual explosion from Final Cut that we use on our videos and that Rob uses. We just thought it'd be funny just to chuck it on, and if at any point Rob wanted to go, explosion, I could just go. I have a drone in C here, so I just hit that and it creates this like wow. I've got a drone here. Kind of thing going on, and that helps us transition into Zero, which is one of our new songs. It's more of a ballady tune, and that is it. Yeah, that's all I have. Those are the samples that I use live, and it's the first time for me taking the sample pad out, so I'm definitely getting used to it and trying not to hit the wrong thing, otherwise I'll end up with a sub drop over some ballad. And that's basically my rig, and the most important aspect of my rig, of course, is Big P. Paul Renshaw, my amazing drum tech and very, very old friend of mine. And basically,
looking sweet tonight.
It's looking very sweet, dude. You did a great job. And basically, Paul loads all my drums out the bus for me while I go and diva it and put my makeup on and put my eyebrows, you know, that kind of thing. And basically, Paul has set all this up. He gets it spot on, so I basically just turn it down the kit, make a couple of small tweaks, and he sets everything up. And god damn you, I love you.
Cheers, man. And you're welcome.
And yeah, your first time on tour with us.
Yeah, man, it's fucking sweet. Anybody ever gets a chance, go on
okay,
top.
that's absolutely fine. Okay, we need to sound check. So I've been Ben Minal from Dorje. This is my drum tech, Paul. Thank you for watching. That was my drum kit, and I'm going to go sound check it now. So catch you on another video soon. Bye bye.
Meeting new people.
Meet lots of musicians.
Get loads of connections.
All the teachers are really experienced.
Better myself as a musician.
Really good advice.
Best place in England.
Thanks for watching. We'd really like to help you achieve your goals as an artist. If you'd like to book an assessment, please visit www.icmp.co.uk.